everyone. Welcome to today's talent show, where we're celebrating the people that bring humanity to business here at TTEC. This week's conversation I'm really looking forward to because we're talking about the adaptation superpower, something that's happening in a world of constant change. This kind of muscle can help all of us. And today's guest is going to help us understand more about how years of learning and relearning and decades has helped her to build her adaptation muscle. We're going to talk about how you can build capacity for constant change in a world today. So we're really excited about this conversation because we think it's something that can help everyone, whether it's in your work life or your personal life. Change is real, change is here to stay, and this is a great muscle for us all to develop. So drop in the chat first before we get started where you're joining us from today. We love to see people from around the world. This is a great opportunity for us to connect. Mo says, let's go, Katie. Yes, we're very excited to meet our guest who is going to be coming up with us shortly. So please do drop in the chat where you're joining us from. We love to hear from you and see people from all over the world. So today's guest is going to help us go through a common misconception is that people 50 plus maybe have a hard time adapting to change. When really the truth is they've been adapting to change and technology revolutions their whole life. Just think about it. They were maybe here a time before there were faxes, from faxes to AI, at a time when networking, social networking meant actually going to a place at a conference or a business meeting and meeting people in person. Whereas now social networking is like what we're doing here on LinkedIn. There's a world after there was a time before MySpace and Facebook and TikTok, and we've been able to manage through all of that. There was even a time when there were phones with cords and you had to go to a shop to get your rental for your movies. There wasn't Netflix. So you can see we've adapted through these technology changes our whole life, and how has it helped us in our careers and in our workplace. So today you're going to learn more about this, whether you're 25 or 65 or anywhere in between. This superpower is something that we know can help you in your work and in your personal lives as well. So today's guest is Katie Simmons. She's an instructional designer here at TTEC, and she is a co-founder and co-lead of Wisdom Warriors, an employee resource group, which is really helping us to change the narrative around what experience means and have a bridge to create real connections across generations. So join me in welcoming our guest today, Katie.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Katie, we love it that you're here. I've been very much looking forward to this conversation because I think it's such an important muscle and superpower to build, again, like I said, whether it's in our personal lives or in our work lives. So thank you so much for being here today. And Micaiah in the chat has said, a phone with a cord? What? Yes, Micaiah, there were even such things as pagers as well,
if
right?
you're important enough to have one.
What was that?
If you were important enough to have one.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So we've been adapting to change for a long time, Katie, and we just wanted to start with what is one of those big pivots or those big changes in your career, and how did it help you build where you are here today?
You know, one of the biggest shifts in my career was moving from quality assurance to instructional design. QA was all about structure, checklists, standards, making sure everything lined up. But design, it's a whole different vibe. I had to get comfy with ambiguity, creativity, and letting learners find their own way. It felt like going from keeping score to helping people explore. And honestly, that shift taught me so much about trusting the process and the people.
Well, and I can see your creativity and your background right now that you did that with Canva, right?
I did this with Canva's AI feature, and I just explained the kind of background I wanted to have. And then, of course, I popped the little Wisdom Warriors logo on the top.
Oh, yes, yes, we love our wisdom owl, right? That's great. And so when you look back at those times where you maybe had to relearn and learn again, what was one of those skills that that you developed that you still use to this day?
Adaptation.
There
Today's
you
all
go.
about AI, and we didn't grow up with it, but we're not afraid of it. And contrary to what many believe, a lot of us older professionals are adapting to new technology and thriving.
Yes, yeah, it definitely it's something that, what's great here at TTEC is we're continually offered opportunities through your group as well to learn more about AI and how we can leverage it as a human assist too. So you're right when you're in a place with an employee resource group like Wisdom Warriors or with a learning and development team that we have behind us to help us flex that adaptation muscle. It's really great. I just for a second, Rule is joining us from the Philippines. So great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. So, Katie, I know you just mentioned you shifted from one type of role to another type of role. What are other changes that you've experienced that maybe seemed impossible at the time to navigate through, but now you see that it was just helping you to build on to what's next?
Okay, so we have a theme here, and it was absolutely embracing AI. But tools like Copilot, Synthesia Video, and Bright Gen AI conversation building really helped my team to innovate our learning experiences. And honestly, without AI, I'm not even sure I know how to do my job anymore.
Katie, it's in that human brain back there somewhere, right?
It is. It's there. I could pull it out if I had to.
It is nice to have that assist, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
So as we shift a little bit to, again, what change builds in all of us, if you could give your younger self, and hint to everybody out there, this might be something that you want to adapt into your own world too. What is the thing that maybe while you were going through the change, you're like, I don't want to be thinking about this, but now you'd pause and say, I really want to pay attention to how this is going to help shift and change me as I continually adapt.
Well, I think, change doesn't always just happen to you, it shapes you. And every time you pivot, you pick up something new. And it's like adding new tools to your belt without even realizing it.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely, exactly. Um, and then what is something that you know now that you couldn't have learned unless you went through the change?
I think the biggest thing is that you have to be bold and go for what you want and not what you think you need. I think so many of us are just trying to survive and we're not going for what we want. And if you approach life in that way, you're just going to be so much happier and the opportunities will open up.
Yeah, I think that's such an important thing. Sometimes fear gets in the way, but what's on the other side of that fear could be really, really great for people to be able to unlock. So thank you for sharing that wisdom with us. And part of Wisdom Warriors is creating that bridge and creating that connection across generations. So, what's something that another generation team member has maybe taught you that's helped you approach your own change in a different way?
There are just too many things to mention because it happens almost every day. I work with so many super talented people that are much younger than me, and they have a huge influence on my attitude and approach to change. And because I feel the need to keep up, that keeps me on my toes. And I'm
Yeah.
happy to have those experiences.
And I'm sure they're leaning into the wisdom that you have and the experience that you have to help them. So you're probably keeping them on their toes just as much, Katie. I have a feeling.
I'm
You
trying.
you keep me on my toes, so there's that. And then let's just look at one other thing. Like, what is something that a different generation is building towards that has you really excited right now?
I think it's a stronger sense of community, finally. I think my generation and those just after mine got away from, and we really have to get back to working together to make improvements for future generations.
Yes, that definitely helps, and I think becoming a part of Wisdom Warriors or any of our other amazing employee resource groups here helps to build towards that community. We have a global workforce, people across the world, and I think the ERGs give us the chance to make those connections and continually cheering each other on as well. The importance of that connection is so great. We also have a new platform here we call Reach for Amazing, a great way to give a shout out and recognition to people everywhere. And I think that also helps to create that recognition and connection and community too. So a lot of ways that you have to be really intentional about it these days. And I think what your group and other groups have to offer is really important. We have a LinkedIn user saying, changes the bridge between what we are and what we're capable of becoming. I really love that as well. And Mo has also said, Katie has definitely explored AI more than most of us. Loved her innovation during the last ERG showcase meeting. Yes, that was so fantastic. Katie created a video through AI about the power of the ERG. So I love that she brought that up. And Lavinia says, loving the conversation, Katie. You truly are a wisdom warrior. Thank you for sharing your insights with us. So as we wrap up today, this one or two more questions for you, Katie. What do you want people to think about experience of older people? Like if there's one thing you could have everybody take away about that 50 plus age group, what would it be?
Well, first of all, I would just say ageism isn't just about stereotypes, it's about missed opportunities to leverage experience. And it's sad that it happens so frequently. But I do have some parting words of wisdom from this wisdom warrior. And that is think of every job you have as your forever job and treat it as such because you're only limited by yourself.
That was a drop the mic moment. Definitely. Thank you. And I think it goes back to what one of the users was saying about changing the bridge between what we are and what we're becoming. And so I think that ties in beautifully with what you're saying of what is that untapped opportunity and potential that you have. So, Katie, thank you so much for your time with us here today, and to you and all the wisdom warriors that help make for a better day and brighter day for not only our employees, but for the millions of customers that we serve around the world too. We appreciate your time, and we're going to talk a little bit about some jobs, but thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks again for having me, Rebecca. It was great chatting.
Nice to see you, Katie. We'll see you again soon. Thank you so much. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much to everybody in the comments as well for sharing your shout outs for Katie and for our wisdom warriors too. We hope that you're able to take away some nuggets that you can apply to your own career, whatever age you may be or wherever you are in the world. We do have a few jobs here to share with you today. TTEC jobs, come head over to it. We have jobs all over the world that are available. So check out and see what is in your neck of the woods. The first job that we wanted to share with you today is a healthcare representative in our California roles. It is a great opportunity to work remotely and to make a difference this healthcare season. So our team will be dropping in the chat the link to that. If you happen to live in California, that is a job that we have available for you. And then if you spinning to the other part of the world, if you're in the Philippines in Lipa, we're also looking for a healthcare customer service representative to work on site at what is one of the best workplaces in the Philippines, a certified great place to work, a really wonderful opportunity to join amazing people who have a really strong connection to their purpose. And if you're not in Lipa, but you are in Cebu, we are also looking for customer service representatives there too. And so please do check out that job. Again, another great workplace. And we hope that you, if you're not in the Philippines or you're not in California, come check out TTEC Jobs to see how you can keep growing, learning, and shaping your career and adapting to change with us. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here today. To our special guest, Katie Simmons, we appreciate everyone. We'll see you back in 2 weeks.